Hello everyone, and welcome to something I hope will be interesting. I've been itching to do some tabletop gaming. My group has not been particularly helpful in actually getting things going online. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be rolling a Pathfinder 2nd Edition character at first level. I'm going to be using a core rulebook that I have right here. I assume that I'm good to just use this as long as I'm not showing the text or anything. I'll be reading out the relevant parts. And I am just going to be sticking to a core rulebook character here. I do have the Advanced Player's Guide as well, and the Bestiary, but that's not really relevant to this. If this is interesting to you guys, I would happily do this for like different characters, different books, different systems even. Like, it would kind of be fun to be like, okay, let's see what it's like making a rogue at first level in 1st edition D&D, in 2nd edition D&D, in 3rd edition, well, 3.5 edition, 4th edition, 5th edition. Anyway, so let's see. I actually have not done any planning on this. This is strictly going to be how this is going to be my initial thing. So first of all is something I like that Pathfinder 2nd Edition does is instead of having a race, you have your ancestry. So, there's still going to be, probably not strictly Azamar or strictly halfling in your family, but you still have to predominantly like halfling blood or something. It also makes having a half elf or half orc a lot easier. So let's see. I downloaded this from qtimes.com. This is just a fillable PDF of the character sheet. So let's see. There's also heritage, which is like the sub-race, I think. So let's see. We have dwarf, which are, dwarves, elves. Interestingly, unlike something like 5th edition or even 3.5 edition, you get racial abilities as you level up, which is really cool. Gnome. I forgot that Goblin is a core book race in this game. In 1st edition, I think that they specifically had like 4 Goblin supplements. Halfling. Human. Oh, wow. The human section is long. Oh, right. Human, half-elf, and half-orc are kind of grouped together. Alright, so let's see. I think I want to roll, just for simplicity's sake, a fighter. So let's make a Dwarf Fighter based off of my Pathfinder Kingmaker character. Yes, I know, that's a 1st edition game. So let's see. So it's going to be Sturg Stone Gem. There's going to be a dwarf, but we need to choose a heritage. So there's Ancient Blooded, Death Wardens. So Ancient Bloods fought mages a lot. Death Wardens were Tomb Guardians. Forge Dwarves are your stereotypical, I run the forge of the city type of dwarves. Rock Dwarves are your mountain dwellers, and strong-blooded dwarves are just good against poison for some reason. So this thing wasn't in Pathfinder 1st Edition, or at least not in Kingmaker. I'm going to be honest. Kingmaker is my main exposure to the Pathfinder 1st Edition rule set, although I love the rule set because it's 3.5 edition of D&D, but better. Let's see. Based on how I play Sturg in Kingmaker, I think that a rock dwarf makes most sense. So rock dwarf. And class is going to be fighter. So dwarves are medium-sized. Sturg is lawful or neutral good. He doesn't really have a deity in particular. He doesn't really, as long as you're not worshipping like the Golarian version of Lulth or anything, he's actually pretty open. Let's see. So we have traits, I think, are something later in character gen. Let's see. Ancestry feats and abilities. We don't have any specials. The Ancient Blooded Dwarf has the special trigger ability where you can just get +1. Oh no, that's just, you just get +1 to magic saving throws. Okay. So special, we're going to leave that blank. Heritage. So a rock dwarf gives, I hope I'm not misunderstanding this, +2 circumstance to fortitude to reflex DC versus shove or trip. Oh wow, okay. +2 versus shove, trip, mundane, or magic, because it also applies there. So we also get some options for first level racial feats, which is pretty cool. So we can get Dwarven Lore. You get Trained Proficiency in Crafting and Religion. Or if you already have one of those from background or class, you get that as you get to choose a trained skill. Dwarven Weapon and Familiarity. You gain trained with Battle Axe, Pick, and Warhammer. And martial dwarf weapons become simple weapons, and advanced dwarf weapons become martial weapons. Rock Runner. You can ignore difficult terrain caused by rubble and uneven ground made of stone and earth. And you can use the acrobatics skill to balance on narrow surfaces or uneven ground made of stone or earth. When you do that, you're not flat-footed, and when you roll a success, you get a critical success instead. Oh, is there a difference between success and critical success? Like, baked into the rules. That's interesting. Stone Cutting. +2 circumstance to perception checks to notice unusual stonework. Applies to discover mechanical traps made of stone or hidden within stone. If you aren't using the seek action or searching, the GM automatically rolls a secret check for you to notice unusual stonework anyway. This check doesn't gain the circumstance bonus, and it takes a -2 circumstance penalty. Okay, so if you're going through like a tomb or something that's made of stone, and you aren't investigating everything, the DM is still going to go, alright. That actually is kind of nice because it saves on, like, I investigate every 5 feet if you have a particularly mean DM. Unburdened Iron. Ignore the speed reduction to your... ignore the reduction to your speed from any armor you wear. In addition, any time you're taking a penalty to your speed from some other reason, deduct 5 feet from the penalty. For example, the encumbered condition might normally gives -10 foot penalty to speed, but it gives you only a -5 foot penalty. If your speed is taking multiple, pick only one penalty to reduce. Ooh, that's interesting. Actually, I think I'm supposed to just kind of put... Is there more space to describe stuff? Not really. Okay. And Vengeful Hatred. Oh, you can choose a lore-friendly favorite enemy between Drow, Duergar, Giants, and Orcs. So you get +1 to damage against creatures with that trait. If your attack would deal more than one weapon die of damage, the bonus is equal to the number of weapon dice. In addition, if a creature critically succeeds in attacking against you and damages you, you can gain your bonus to damage against that creature for 1 minute, regardless. Oh. Sturg is actually pretty laid back. I think Unburdened Iron. No speed. Armor. -5 from any speed penalty. Okay. Let's see. I don't think we get anything else from first level from our race. Oh. Where is our speed? Speed 20. Is there a languages section? Or is that just kind of a separate list it'll keep somewhere? Okay. Oh boy. Common, Dwarven, and I don't get any others until I roll my stats. And we have traits. I'm assuming that I want to fill everything in, and it's not just, writing the stuff down that I need offhand. Like, I actually, when I play OSR rules, or Old School Revival rules, so stuff that's similar to First Edition and Advanced, I like to write it on just, some notebook paper so I can more easily keep track of it instead of using, an archaic character sheet. Alright, so we need traits. Do we write those anywhere? That's spelled. Alright, traits don't seem to have a place to go. Okay. So that's it for our race. So next we want to go... Well, actually, let me see. How do you roll stats here? Oh, you don't roll stats. That's interesting. Okay. So... Oh no, this sheet doesn't do the math like the first edition sheet I use. You just start straight up 10 across the board. Your character's ability scores each start at 10. As you select your ancestry, background, and class, you'll apply ability boost, which boosts a score by 2, and ability flaws, which decrease a score by 2. At this point, just note a 10 in each. Okay. Oh, that is really interesting. I love seeing how different systems handle stuff. So this is their way of going okay, it's really easy to get screwed by a dice roll, so here, you will have these stats, and then your stats will just change as you adventure from your gear and stuff. Okay. So, I get a boost to Constitution, Wisdom, and one of my choice, which I believe, from the free. Wisdom? I would expect it to be Strength. Okay. And let me make sure... Most ancestries provide ability boosts to 2 specified ability scores plus a free ability boost that you can apply to any other score of your choice. Okay, so I'm going to apply that to Strength, because he's going to be a fighter. So I guess we go into backgrounds next, since that's kind of coupled in with ancestries. So let's see. We have Acolyte, Acrobat, Animal Whisperer, Artisan, Artist, Barkeep, Barrister? Barrister? Oh, you can have a lawyer background. That's cool. Bounty Hunter, Charlatan, Criminal, Detective, Emissary, Entertainer, Farmhand, Field Medic, Fortune Teller, Gambler, Gladiator, Guard, Herbalist, Hermit, Hunter, Laborer, Martial Disciple, Merchant, Hunter, Merchant, Miner, Noble, Nomad, Prisoner, Sailor, Scholar. I think that's it. Yeah. Oh no, there's Scout, Street Urchin, Tinker, and Warrior. I kind of feel like Warrior makes the most sense for him. Guard is more of a lawful thing. Well, I guess not necessarily. Lawful means you follow a code. Although I've always kind of ascribed it as like a chaotic character is more likely to be an anarchist in the political sense, not the no rules sense. Martial Disciple. So that's going to like a military school or a monastery. I think I go... Warrior, because that's like you were a mercenary. Like, not an actual, like, guard or, what was the other one that kind of sounded like that? Bounty hunter, because that's still kind of lawful. Yeah. So Warrior gives 2 ability boosts. One must be to Strength or Constitution. They are both going to those stats. I don't know if you can put them at the same one, actually. No. We also get training in the Intimidation skill. So they really simplified skill ranks, I think. And Warfare lore. You gain the Intimidating Glare skill feat. Background. Intimidating Glare. So let's just get that filled in here. Again, I really don't think I'm stepping over any lines here by going over, okay, this is how I'm making this character, and this is what these do, and this is how I fill it out. There are a lot of feats, by the way. Don't worry. Second edition is very streamlined compared to the original, but there's still a lot of stuff you can get. You can demoralize with a mere glare. When you do, demoralize loses the auditory trait and gets a visual trait, and you don't take a penalty if the creature doesn't understand your language. So, demoralize status. Yeah, let's see. Demoralize with glare. No language. Visual. Okay, so next, of course, is our class, and as I said, we're just going to be going with the Humble Fighter. I know Dwarf Fighters are very stereotypical, but they're fun to play. I mean, not everything has to be an anarchist paladin. That's an actual character I've run. Just have to flip through all the freaking pages for, Druid, because that's a caster class. Okay, so Fighter. Let's see. Let's go through the list here. Key ability. Strength or dexterity. At first level, your class gives you an ability boost to your choice of strength or dexterity. I'm going to put that in dexterity. No, Sturg is a heavy armor fighter, so dexterity does not befit him. So that's another boost to strength. Is there a natural cap of 20? Ability scores on page 19. Let's see. And I really like how there's, if you have the core rulebook or even just the test rulebook on pages 22 and 23, there's a very at a glance. All right, here's the classes. Here's the ancestries. Let's see. At first level, a character can never have any ability score that's higher than 18. Oh, you can roll your stats, but I want to roll it just as the game is balanced around. Okay. At first level, you gain the listed proficiency ranks in the following statistics. You are untrained in anything not listed unless you gain a better proficiency rank some other way. You are an expert in perception. That's not a skill. What? Wait, perception isn't a skill? Performance really? Where's perception? Oh, up here. So expert. Skills. Trained in your choice of acrobatics or athletics. Athletics. Trained in a number of skills equal to 3 plus your intelligence modifier. So at this point, we're not changing stats at all until leveling up, which, I don't know, maybe we'll do okay, let's level this character up video in the future. But, let's see. 3 additional skills. Okay, it makes sense to have training in medicine. Let's see here. I don't think you can make up a lore skill. Diplomacy. War is more than just fighting. And society. Attacks. Let's see. Expert in simple and martial weapons, trained in advanced, expert in unarmed. Oh, here we go. Expert. Unarmed. Expert. And advanced is going to be trained. Defenses. Oh, saving throws. Expert in fortitude. Expert in reflex. Trained in will. There's something about a fighter class DC which I don't quite understand yet. I'm learning with you guys, by the way. Let's see here. Hit points are 10 plus con mod. So that's going to be minus 10 over 3. So that is 13 max hit points. Oh, it does do some of the fill in the math. Okay. Right, defenses. Trained in armor and unarmored. Where is there a defenses thing? Oh. Trained in all. Let's see. Okay, so that's all the stuff on the first page of Fighter. So, at first level, we get Ancestry and Background. Abilities provided by your class at first level. Benefits of your selected Ancestry and Background as described in Chapter 2. Initial proficiencies. Attack of Does only the fighter get Attack of Opportunity? Make a melee strike against a triggering creature. If your attack is a critical hit, the trigger was a manipulative action. You disrupt that action. The strike doesn't count toward your multiple attack penalty. Your multiple attack penalty doesn't apply to the strike. And it does take your reaction. Okay. So you get a fighter feat and shield block. So let's go down to our feats. Features are going to be Attack of Opportunity and Shield Block. Then we get to choose a fighter feat. So let's see. We can get double slice, make 2 strikes, one with each of your 2 melee weapons. Okay, it's a dual wield attack. Both strikes must have the same target. If the second strike is made with a weapon that doesn't have the agile trait, it takes a -2 penalty. Okay, so we finally have a game that does 2-weapon fighting in a cool way. Like, you just take the feat and it's boom, boom. You just have to have an agile offhand weapon. I think in 5e, your offhand weapon doesn't get any... It doesn't get your... I don't remember if it doesn't get your strength modifier or if it doesn't get your proficiency modifier. Anyway. Exacting Strike. On failure, this attack does not count toward your multiple attack penalty. Point blank shot, we know what point blank shot is. Power attack counts as 2 attack when calculating a multiple attack penalty. If the strike hits, you deal an extra die of weapon damage. Oh, it's more weapon die, not just a flat bonus. If you're at least 10th level, increase this to 2, and if you're 18th level, increase it to 3 extra dice. Reactive Shield, which is a reaction. You can snap your shield into place just as you would take a blow, avoiding the hit at the last second. You immediately use the Raise a Shield action and gain your shield's bonus to AC. The circumstance bonus from the shield applies to your AC when you're determining the outcome of the triggering attack. Oh, do you not just get your shield AC at all times now? I mean, that makes sense. It's just... Huh. Okay. Snagging Strike. You have to have one hand free, and your target is within reach of that hand. You combine an attack with quick grappling moves to throw enemy balance. Make an attack while keeping one hand free. If this hits, the target is flat-footed until the start of your next turn, or until it's no longer within reach of your hand, whichever comes first. Flat-footed, I think, means they don't get their dex or anything. They're kind of off balance, so it's only their actual armor matters. Plus their, natural armor. Sudden Charge. Stride twice. If you end your movement within melee reach of at least one enemy, you can make a melee strike against the enemy. You can use this while burrowing, climbing, flying, or swimming instead of striding if you have the corresponding movement. Yeah. Sudden. So this is a close the distance. You get to take 2 movements, I think. Okay. So that's that. Fighter feat and shield block. Okay. So skills. I just want to make sure that skills work like in... I assume they work more like in 5th edition. So let's see. Oh, and there's like dedicated lists of actions that count. Okay, that's really cool. See, there's a reason that the core rulebook is over 600 pages. It's because it actually goes into detail and gives some really good examples and rules. Okay. Oh man, there's like income rules and stuff. I want the basics here though. Each skill is tied to a key ability. You add your modifier for this ability to checks and DCs when using that skill. For example, Skulking will both uses your Dex modifier. Okay. So, for example, if I go into a strength skill, I put in the 3 here. One. Oh, they actually really balanced it out, too. Like, strength is really good because it's used in combat, so it makes sense not to have it used in a ton of skills. I personally would rule that intimidation uses strength or charisma. But, okay. Oh, proficiency. I don't know. Where is a proficiency? Thing. Table. Being trained, expert, master, or legendary adds your level plus 2, 4, 6, or 8 respectively. Oh, dang. Okay, so being trained in skills is really good. So, like, here, I get 3 in my proficiency. So that's 6, 3, 4, 1. Okay. So then, how do I get my starting equipment, though? Let's see. There's actually, like, a page that tells you the flow of character generation that I've completely ignored. Let's see. Character creation. Create the concept. I know my character. Start building ability scores. Select Ancestry. Select background. Choose a class. Determine ability scores. Record class details. Buy equipment. At first level, your character has 15 gold pieces or 150 silver pieces to spend on armor, weapons, and other basic equipment. Your character's class lists the type of weapons and armor with which they are trained or better. Weapons determine how much damage they deal. Armor influences armor class. Okay. Proficiency in perception versus... Right, so I am expert, so I have 6. Because 1, 5... Yeah. 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's just after feats. Okay. So I have 15 GP. So Sturg is a very traditional fighter. He likes to use a axe and a shield, usually. But with how shields seem to act differently, let's assume that he is slightly more agile and uses just a weapon. Okay. So let's see. Where's the hand axe? It's not a martial weapon. It's not an uncommon martial weapon. Did they get rid of the hand axe? Is it a simple weapon? Huh. It's not a light hand axe or heavy hand axe. They have the great axe. Oh, battle axe. So the battle axe is literally 1 GP. So battle axe. Damage is 1d8 plus 3 for the strength. Traits of it. Sweep. So obviously that is a martial weapon, so I am expert, which means strength, 5 proficiency, so that means I have +8 to hit. If this number seems big and you've played D&D 5e, no, this is just how Pathfinder works. It has larger numbers so that there's more fine tweaking that can be done. And the battle axe does slashing damage. I feel like it should do slashing or bludgeoning, but I'm not going to argue here. I'm just going to state how I feel. Okay. Next is going to be armor. Oh, maybe that comes before weapons. Okay. So you do have to take an action to raise a shield. A tower shield is only 10 GP. You can take cover behind it. Interesting. Okay. Armor. I could take split mail, because that's only 13 GP. Oh, only 13 GP. It's 13 GP. But there's other stuff than weapons and armor that you need in tabletop. So let's go with... So we spent 1 GP. I'm going to have 6 GP left because I'm going to buy the breastplate. So... where's the actual armor name? Because there's the weapon name here. That's why I'm confused. Well, proficiency 3. Oh, you get proficiency on your armor class. That's cool. Dex is none. Item is 4. So 17 armor class. We have 6 gold pieces left to spend. The cap is 1 for Dex. I do get the check penalties, so 2, 2, 2, 2. So that's actually a 4. Let's see. Are there any traits on the breastplate? No. It has bulk. Which doesn't seem to have anything here. So I have 16 strength, so if I didn't have my feature, then I would only actually... Oh, it actually tells you what the proficiency stuff is up there in the corner. Like 18 strength, you could actually overcome the penalties and stuff from the... Oh, wait. No, that is relevant to me. If you meet the armor's strength threshold, you don't take the penalty. So I actually don't get any of that. So that remains a 6. Okay. So you have 6 GP left. So we have armor, a weapon. Would he still carry a shield? Yeah. Take a wood shield, which is an AC bonus of 2. Has a hardness of 3 and 12 over 6. Max HP / BT. What is BT? Broken threshold. Measure how much damage the shield can take before it's destroyed, and how much it can take before being broken and unusable. These matter primarily for the shield block action. Okay. So we've spent 10 GP. We have 5 GP left for supplies. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in here that's like... a majority of the geek equipment page seems to be about your weapons. So let's see. An Adventurous Pack contains a backpack, bedroll, 2 belt pouches, 10 pieces of chalk, flint and steel, 50 feet of rope, 2 weeks' rations, 5 torches, and a water skin. How much does that cost? 7 GP. Okay. So let's take that. So we wear a backpack. Two belt pouches. Actually, we need to spend 1 on clothes because we wouldn't be traveling in armor. Explorer's clothing is 1 silver piece. I'm going to assume that it's just included. Explorer's clothing / breastplate, depending on where. So then we would be carrying a bedroll, kind of missing? 10 pieces of chalk, 1 steel, 50 feet of rope, 2 weeks rations, soap, 5 torches, water skin. I don't think any of that actually adds up to bulk. Belt pouch doesn't. 10 chalk doesn't. I'll explain the... Oh, and we would wear the shield regardless of armor. Wooden shield. Flint and steel doesn't. Rope probably does. Bulk L. Bulk actually ties into how much you can carry, because a backpack will hold 4 bulk of items. Oh, light. Okay. I don't know how many light items add up to 1 bulk. So if we look back at our equipment, axe is 1. Shield's 1. The breastplate is 2. So we actually have, like, we are on our bulk limit. Okay. So we are still left with how many? Table for how many? No. How many GP? Adventurous Pack was 7, so we have 3. No. Adventurous Pack is 7. Oh, it's 7 silver pieces. Okay. So we're down. We're at 6 gold. Minus 7, so 5. And 93 silver. Let's see. Does Stir carry anything else on him? Let's see. Probably a 10... Oh, that's 3 bulk. No. Those tools are too expensive. A hammer. A crowbar. A hooded lantern. Who would wear that? Let's just say 10 pints oil, since it doesn't have bulk. I know that's a lot of oil to carry around, like lantern oil, but it's legitimately just for the sake of numbers being easier. Okay. So that leaves us with 5 GP. Cool. Oh, there are class kits that are like just quick. Let's see. A fighter would get the greatsword, hide armor. Oh, would get hide armor, a dagger, Adventurous Pack, grappling hook, sheath. Ooh. Grappling hook and sheath. is 1 copper. Cool. I think it's 10 copper to a silver. Okay, and that leaves enough for an inn stay. And I think that's actually it for a fighter at first level. Obviously, later on you're going to be getting, like, magic items and more feats and stuff like that, but... Okay, so for being a first character in this system, I guess technically you should have taken a crossbow, but for being a first character in this system, taking 50 minutes to generate is actually not that bad for a modern non-OSR system. And as I'm speaking, I'm realizing I never did the class DC, which I think is just the DC for class abilities in general. Key ability is strength or dexterity. So, strength plus. How does that work? Class DC, trained in fighter class DC. So 3, so 16. Oh, I still need to go through this. So 2, 5, 5, 3, 1, 4, 5, 7. Yeah, like, this is actually relatively simple to put together a character. There's obviously other stuff on this sheet. Oh, I need to put warrior, dwarf. Oh, that's where I put traits. Whoops. Just for the sake of completion here. Traits are dwarf and humanoid. Relative to like starting a Pathfinder first edition character, very simple. Relative to starting a 5th edition character, still not quite as simple, but this is also a really good transition from 5th edition to playing some of the more complex rule sets that spun off of the OGL. I really like character generation here. It's very easy to understand if you understand tabletop stuff already. I still would not recommend this as someone's first character generation experience, because I was just able to be like, oh, it's this thing, because I'm familiar with this thing. Where I don't think everyone would have that same experience. But yeah, I really like this character generation. I don't know how many more times I can say that. And if you liked this video and would like to see more like it, please let me know. This is my first time doing anything like this. For future ones, I'll probably be a little more prepared. And like, I don't want to do casters necessarily, because that's a lot of him, over like what spells to pick. That's why I'm going to be mostly sticking to martial classes. But I really hope you guys enjoyed and found this interesting. And please let me know if I screwed anything up. Because oh, they even include a catchphrases thing in the personality section. That kind of rules. I have not played 2nd edition. Oh, and they even simplified magic. Huh. I haven't played 2nd edition, so maybe I screwed something up somewhere along the way. That's like really obvious to anyone who's played 2nd edition or Starfinder, because Starfinder is kind of the 1.5 edition in terms of rules. But I'll see you guys over in them there video games.